What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this we have 5 winter objects I never used before moving to the UK. Once again, we are back with Kaylin and her channel Girl Gone London. Before we dive into this video, make sure y'all go check out her channel. I'll put her original video link in the description so you guys can watch. I'm excited to jump into this and see what winter objects y'all need that we may not necessarily need in the US, depending on which state you live in. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Also, if you would like to support this channel by becoming a member, all you gotta do is hit that join button.
Hi and welcome back to the Girl Gone London channel. If you're new here, I'm not typically dressed up in a hat and scarf inside, but it's for the bit. And the topic of today's video, which is winter objects I had never seen or used before moving to the UK. Now, spoiler alert, I am from the USA, but I'm not from one of the colder states. I'm from Florida. So this video is really about winter objects a Florida girl had never experienced before moving to the UK. Some are UK specific, some are winter specific, but we'll get to that in a second. The first thing on my list is UK specific, and that is mulled wine. Whether you're going to a British Christmas market or you're just going over to like a Christmas party or a friend's house, mulled wine tends to be a really British and kind of European winter drink.
Yeah.
It's a hot drink, which is good for the season, and you can wrap your hands around the cup and keep them warm, and it has a very specific smell that I associate with like British Christmas markets, and it's just not really an enjoyed drink in the US. In fact, I found evidence of this because someone received it in the US and had to post in the Ask a Brit section of Reddit what exactly they were supposed to do and how they were supposed to heat it up. In America, when it comes to the winter season, we would go for things like hot chocolate, or our kind of seasonal wintry drink is eggnog. Now, eggnog can be served hot or cold, but it's just the more American seasonal holiday drink. It's kind of the equivalent to mulled wine culturally in the UK. Number 2.
I feel like I definitely have seen, I've reacted to different countries like Germany and Poland, where in their Christmas markets, they definitely serve mulled wine. And so I've seen people try it, and they seem to enjoy mulled wine. I don't know. It's hard to imagine like wine being hot, but don't knock it till you try it. And I have not got the opportunity to try it. Maybe I will one day. But I usually don't like hot drinks. I don't like the hot chocolate. I don't like coffee. I don't like hot tea. I don't like nothing hot. I don't like drinking anything hot. That's just me. So let's jump to number 2 though.
It's a hot water bottle. I had no idea what these were.
I
always assumed a hot water bottle was simply a water bottle that was hot. It is not.
Yeah.
It's this thing, which has a pouch that you
pour
hot water into, not boiling though, according to the instructions, and it's covered in some sort of like fluffy covering. Maybe it's just some polka dots like the one I have, or maybe it's a whole animal or something if you want to be cutesy. But often people use them to take into bed with them to warm up when it's cold. Maybe you put them down by your feet. I don't entirely know. I mean, this video is things that I had never encountered before in my life. So hot water bottle users, please comment below and give us your tips and tricks on what we're supposed to do with it. Are we just supposed to hug it? Are we supposed to put it somewhere to warm something up? Please enlighten us. The next winter object
I've seen it in a different video, but I forget its use as well. Yeah, enlighten me in the comment section, por favor.
Never encountered before moving to the UK, and this is where people in colder American states are going to be like, you're really dumb, is an ice scraper for a car. Now, I started driving when I was 16, 15 with a learner's permit in the US, but on my own at the age of 16 in Florida. But living in Florida in those 5 to 6 years, I never encountered the need for an ice scraper. I'm not even sure if the heating in my car worked or how it would work if I needed to use it. And while it doesn't freeze every night in the winter in the UK, definitely the temperatures get down there, and you wake up in the morning ready to head off to work or school or wherever you need to be, and you find that your car is frosted over. And so then you need one of these things to scrape the ice off, and it's also dark and it's cold, and you're just really regretting all of your life choices and wondering why you didn't move to a tropical island sooner. I've also learned that there are various tips and tricks for how to make this process faster, and also varying ways that people argue about is good or not good for your car, including like using your windshield wipers to help warm things up. And there are also different levels
that y'all tell me in the comment section, because me and my wife actually had this I guess we didn't argue, kind of a debate. She does use the windshield wipers when warming the car up, when the windshield's like frosted over, and I had just never seen that before, and I can't imagine that's a good thing for the car. Like, and I can't imagine what the windshield wipers are really even doing to the ice. Like, for me, I always just hit the as a defrost. I guess the heating defrost thing to defrost, and I just wait till the heat does its thing and all the ice is melted. But I would love to hear you guys in the comment section. Is that an actual thing? Like, people do use windshield wipers to help when the ice is on the car? Help me out. I hope that I'm right. I hate being wrong, but if I'm wrong, I'll accept it.
Of how good the ice scraper is. So you don't want a 1 pound one from Poundland. You want an actual good one that is going to work instead of just going over the ice.
Yeah.
And here is where I will let you into my funny story.
I feel like I've never used an ice scraper, but there's been situations where I needed one and didn't have one.
One time that my car did freeze in the US, and it actually wasn't in the morning. It was late at night. My friends and I had gone to Disney World, as you do in Florida, for the day in December, and we didn't leave until around midnight. But by then, the temperatures had dropped, and we got back, and the windshield was frozen. Genuinely, we were about 17, and we had never encountered this. We had no idea what to do. We didn't have an ice scraper. We didn't even understand really how it all worked. So I had a spare jacket in the back of the car that had zippers on it. And so we tried to use the jacket and use the zippers to scrape the ice off the car. At one point, one of us suggested that we should actually pour water onto the car to see if that would work to melt the ice. We really had no idea what we were doing. And if you're a longtime watcher of this channel, I will reveal who the person was because she has been on this channel before, and it was my best friend Emily. So, sorry Emily, I've just outed our dumb 17-year-old selves. Now the next thing on my list that I had never...
That's wild though, like, I did assume, but I guess in a situation where you never needed it, that everybody knew how to, like, defrost the windshield and melt it with the heat and the... But I guess if you never had to use it, then you wouldn't necessarily need to know it. But I just assumed everybody
encountered before moving to the UK was an oil-filled radiator. So I finally got used to the radiators like on the wall in the UK built into the house, but I didn't realize that a portable radiator could be filled with oil. Again, needing some sort of heating element is not really necessary for most of the year in Florida, and when it does, you sort of just pile on extra blankets. In our household, air conditioning systems often have the heating as the second part of the system, so it's all built in together, as opposed to needing separate heating elements in the UK.
Yes.
And the next thing on my list that I had never seen was this thing. It's a draft excluder, apparently.
Ooh.
I've never had one for my own home, but I've seen them in other people's homes, and the idea is that the draft of cold air can come through underneath the door with a gap, because you need a little bit of a gap to open the door, and so you put this cozy little like beanbag looking thing in front of your doors in order to keep the heat in and keep the drafts out. And finally, and this is something that
that actually makes a ton of sense, and I don't know why we don't have anything like that. Maybe we do, and I've never known about it, but that makes total, complete sense.
I do have experience with in the UK, but had never encountered before I moved here. And it is insulating film for windows. Now, I used to live in a place that only had single glazed windows, and it would get very, very cold for various other reasons why this place would get cold. It was just a cold place. And so typically, like double or triple glazed windows are better for keeping the heat in. Single glazed or single pane, what do you call them in this country? Single pane, single glazed, single something.
Whatever it is.
They're not as good for insulation. And so they sell this ridiculous cling film looking thing that you genuinely apply to your windows using a hairdryer to kind of like shrink wrap the window and create this extra layer of insulation. It was an absolute nightmare to apply. I seem to remember. We never used it again after the first winter season. We're like, we'll just be cold and we'll just wear coats to bed. It's fine. You may have had good experience with this stuff. Maybe some of the Amazon reviews are really good and some are really bad. So maybe it was operator error in my case, but it's already cold in the winter, and you're using a hairdryer to shrink wrap your windows, and that is something that really does make you question your life decisions. And you'll be happy to know I now have double glazing. So that brings me to the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed my little winter expose.
Yeah, I feel like I have no idea what that is. I don't even know what kind of windows I got right now, single, double, whatever. Yeah, I guess you just, I never need
things I had never experienced. Definitely help me answer some of these questions below, and what objects you use in the winter to keep you and your house and your car warm. As always, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Also, I'm gonna take this stuff off because I'm very hot.
That was a great video. That is very interesting though. What because it was like 4 out of 5 that was saying, yeah, I was like, yeah, I really haven't seen anybody use those either. That's interesting. But then the ice scraper or whatever it's called, I definitely seen that, and I wish that I'd had one, or that I had one. I still don't have one. That's all we got though. If you guys enjoyed, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and check out the next one. I'll see y'all next time.